What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley. And today we're going to talk some football. We're going to talk some basketball. Got a few storylines. One storyline I saw today that I'm ecstatic about is Jalen Hurts is finally starting in Philadelphia. Now, I wanted the Jaguars to draft Jalen Hurts. I was on that train. I wanted Jalen Hurts here in Jacksonville. So I'm excited to see him get his shot in Philadelphia because there's no way, absolutely no way, he can be worse than Pennsylvania. Matter of fact, go ahead and take that name out, man. And the Eagles are basically tied. They are married to Carson Wentz. They can't offload that contract. I don't see anybody trading for him. And you cut him like he's old. He takes up $59 million of the cap next year, and then 2022 he takes up like 24.9 or something crazy like that. So they are tied to Carson Wentz for the next 2 years at least. So man, if Jalen Hurts can get in and play decent football and get him to a win. I mean, you have to go with Hurts, but Wentz would be probably the most expensive backup in the history of football, man, because I don't see you being able to get rid of him right now. You have too much money invested in him. But, man, I don't know, man. We'll see. Also, talk about the Steelers. Now that game right there. This what's fresh on people's mind right now. I've been sharing all kind of memes about it, and the Steelers fans have been, talking trash and doing all the crying and stuff. And we played 3 games in 10 days, and we had 6 starters out, and this person has the bug and all of that stuff. Dude, I don't care. I don't care at all, because it was trending this way anyway. Chase Young said it. Baltimore gave you the blueprint on how to beat them. And the Cowboys did. If you watch both Baltimore games and the Cowboys games, those games showed you how to beat them. Period. I'm telling you, man. But we're going to get into that. But right quick, share to a few groups. So bear with me. Let's see, where are we at? Here we go. So the funny thing about Pittsburgh losing to Washington is a couple people predicted it. My coworker, he's a Washington fanatic, and he predicted it. He said he just had a feeling that they were going to win. You kind of saw, like I said, you saw this coming. One of the biggest issues with Pittsburgh is that they cannot run the football. That's going to be a problem during the home stretch going into the playoffs. You have to be able to run the football, because if you get into a track meet with, say, a Kansas City, and you can't limit Patrick Mahomes' touches because you can't take time off the clock by running the football, that's going to be a problem, and it's going to be an issue. Now, one thing about Big Ben, for the most part, Big Ben looks old. He looks old. In the last couple of games, I understand the fatigue with him because he's older, look a little tired, and I do get that. But he can't move like he once could. And so one of the issues with him not being able to move like he once could, if you can get any type of pass rush, and I'm talking any type of pass rush, it's going to be a long game for Big Ben, because they scored 3 points in the second half. 3 points is what they scored in the second half. Let's see, World's Greatest Sports. Okay, there we go. Hold on, sharing to these groups. Wait a minute, live sports posts and NFL Junkies post, and okay, let's talk on the tree. All right. So, with Big Ben, all you got to do is get to Big Ben. Now, it's hard to get to him. I don't think he was sacked for like 4 straight games or something like that. So it's very hard to get to Ben Roethlisberger. But when you can get to him, He's like an iron deer on the lawn. He can't move like he used to. Every now and then he'll give you the flashes of the young Ben Roethlisberger, but he can't do that anymore. Every time Washington most likely moved him off of his spot, dude, he looked like he was stuck in mud, man. He can't get away like he used to. And he gets the ball out fast. 2.1 seconds, 2.2 seconds or something crazy like that. So he hiking the ball and the ball is coming out hot. But you play coverage on the back end, all you got to do is get him to hold it and clutch it once. And then you should be able to get to him. All the DB's got to do is make him double clutch it once to let the pass rush get to him. And if you're able to do that, you stagnate the offense. Because as great as those wide receivers are, with Juju Smith, I mean, they probably have the best wide receiving core in the league, man. The only other wide receiving core I say come close is probably Kansas City's wide receiving core. Minnesota. I got to see Minnesota up and close Sunday playing against the Jaguars. Minnesota's wide receiver core is close, but Pittsburgh probably has the best wide receiving core, hands down, bar none. Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, James Washington, Juju Smith-Schuster, all those guys are great. But if you cannot run the football, you're not going to win a championship. You're not. And then that defense, man, they're losing guys seemingly left and right. Not having Bud Dupree showed. TJ Watt is great, but now without Bud Dupree on the other side, now I'm double teaming TJ Watt every single time, hands down, every single time. And I don't know about y'all, but comeback player of the year belongs to Alex Smith. If he doesn't take another snap this season, comeback player of the year belongs to Alex Smith. He went from 70 surgeries to a life-threatening infection, talking about amputation, to not playing for 2 years, rehabbing like hell, working his way back, coming back this year, getting the start once Kyle Allen went down, and now he has Washington in prime position to win the NFC East. Never saw that coming. So Alex Smith is your comeback player of the year, and he looks incredibly comfortable. And what's crazy is you have to respect the mentality of athletes and the mental toughness that they have. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I go outside and I walk on the sidewalk by my apartments over here and I break my ankle walking on the sidewalk, I'm probably not going to walk on that sidewalk no more. He broke his leg. A 300-pound man broke his leg and he went back to get hit by 300-pound men again without flinching. His first game, he was a little skittish, but now he looks incredibly comfortable in the pocket. I mean, he put up great numbers against Pittsburgh's defense, man, and he's only going to get better. And the weapons, if I'm Washington, I'm going to find another wide receiver. I'm going to find another tight end, maybe get another running back. But as far as this year is concerned, I see them winning the NFC East, man, because their games down the stretch, they don't have a tough game, a stretch of games down the stretch, man. So, but kudos to Alex Smith, man. He's really came back and he's balling. Comeback player of the year for sure. That is happening. Next person, and I have to give my props to this guy before I go on because I talk trash about him. My favorite player in the whole NFL talk trash about him. A lot of pundits talk trash about him. I was wrong on this guy, but so were a lot of other people, and that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a guy that you have to put respect on his name. Ricardo, Washington D is fire. Yes, they are, man. I mean, Washington is in prime position right now, man. If Alex Smith can stay healthy, I could see them contending for the playoffs for the next couple of years because he's 36 years old. You know, quarterbacks are playing to they're basically 40 now. So let's say he plays another 4 years. They should be in contention for the next 4 years because you have, like you said, you have a solid defense. Montez Sweat and Chase Young were killing those tackles for Pittsburgh, man. They were all over the field. You got a pretty good linebacking core. You got a good secondary. And then you have one of the favorite Jaguar coaches of all time, and Jack Del Rio, as your defensive coordinator. So the defense is always going to be good. And I love Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron. So they are in prime position right now for the next couple of years with a steady hand at quarterback with Alex Smith. Now, Alex Smith, Nick Wright from First Things First, he's always joking because he's the Chiefs fan, and he watched Alex Smith. He said Alex Smith in the regular season is your guy. You just don't want him when you go to the playoffs. But I'm riding with Alex Smith, man. I like the story. But yeah, back to Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen last night, man. I watched Josh Allen, and he had a few passes where he threw absolute dimes. The announcers made sure to point out when Josh Allen rolls to his right, he is devastating, absolutely devastating. With a lot of quarterbacks, when they go on the run or they roll to certain parts of the field, whether it's the left or the right, a lot of them, when they get off the platform and throw from different platforms, they lose accuracy, they lose velocity. They lose all of that on the ball. When he rolls right, he throws absolute strikes. He threw a strike to Cole Beasley 30 yards down the field, and it was amazing. Even the announcers was like, man, this kid is good. And his inconsistencies early on, where he would throw passes, man, that like you wonder, like, where are these passes going? But those inconsistencies, they only rear their ugly head every now and then. But the San Francisco defense isn't terrible. And he went for 374 and 4 tugs on him, man. 4. So you have to respect Buffalo. Buffalo is going to be a tough out going into the playoffs. They're going to win the AFC East, and they're going to be a tough out going into the playoffs. I'm telling you, nobody wants to see Buffalo right now. You better believe that, man. You better believe that for sure. And I guess now I have to talk about my Jaguars. I don't really want to, but I got to bring it up in the Minnesota Vikings, which Minnesota, they have a chance to make the playoffs. Minnesota is a well-rounded team, man. Jaguars gave them a scare for sure, and I thought that we were going to win, and I don't think that would have been the best thing because I want them to keep that number 2 pick, because go ahead and get us that quarterback. Whether it's Justin Fields, whether it's Zach Wilson, whoever they like. I will say this. I see a lot of Jag fans trending towards Kyle Trask. Let me get closer. No, people. No, don't buy the hype. Don't do it. Don't do it because we're right here in Florida and you get to see him every Saturday. No. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is just me, and I could be wrong, and Kyle Trask could come in and be a Super Bowl winning MVP. It could happen, but I don't think so. I think Kyle Trask is fool's gold. Number one, first and foremost, he's playing with NFL talent around him. Let's see, Ricardo, what you think about keeping Minshew? Yeah, I would keep him. There's no reason to move off of Minshew right now. I would say keep him. I would say you go draft your quarterback, which the new regime most likely is going to do, and then you keep Minshew. Minshew should start next year, and he'd be the placeholder until the young guy comes along and he's ready to go. And, do it like that, because I think Minshew can play. I really do. And he's going to be going out of Jacksonville, and I just hope wherever he goes to a better situation, and they can properly use his talents. He goes to a better team. But I do think he can play. But yeah, keep him for sure. But Kyle Trask, he's put this way. He's playing with NFL talent, number one. He has average to above average arm talent from time to time. His arm strength is average. He could throw some beads every now and then, but he has average arm talent. And he doesn't have cinder blocks for feet, but he's not quite nimble in the pocket. And avoiding the rush is going to be key in the NFL. And he doesn't, you see Tom Brady. Tom Brady runs like a 5 flat in the 40. So, but he is nimble in the pocket. And I don't really see that from Kyle Trask all the time. Look like he's stuck in mud sometimes. He does. And he worries me. And this is the other thing. Florida quarterbacks are historically trash. Let's go ahead and put it out there. Historically, they are trash. So are Ohio State quarterbacks. So even though Justin Fields might end up being the best of the bunch and all the ones that came to the NFL, Ohio State quarterbacks have never been good in the NFL. None. Go look it up. Look up Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL and tell me that that list is as unimpressive as the green bean casserole your coworker brought to the potluck. Unimpressive, man. It's unimpressive. Same with Florida. The Florida quarterbacks are not good. And Kyle Trask is going to break a lot of hearts. See, I can see it right now. I can see the scenario right now. Jaguars draft Kyle Trask. I doubt they would draft him at 2. But let's say they take somebody else at 2, another position at 2. Maybe say Kyle Pitts. I'm not, taking a tight end at 2 is not something that I would necessarily do. But, take a tight end, maybe Kyle Pitts. But let's say they take Kyle Pitts at 2, and then at 26 right now, the Rams pick that Jaguars got, you take Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask comes here and stinks up the joint. I can hear it right now. All the Jaguar haters that are here in Jacksonville calling him Kyle Trash and all of that. I can hear that already. And I hate that I just came up with that scenario because it sounds exactly like something the Jaguars would do. And I would be very hurt for a long time if they do that. But I am kind of already numb because we suck. But anyway, I really hope James Robinson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not going to happen, but it's wishful thinking. But if Jacksonville can go ahead and get your quarterback at 2. I told you who I really, really like, and that is Trey Lance from North Dakota State. If you haven't seen Trey Lance from North Dakota State, get on your YouTube and look him up. Look him up. I think the kid has it all. Zach Wilson, the quarterback from BYU, is a quarterback I haven't seen much on, so I can't. I'm going to evaluate him and do a draft show and really pick apart all of the quarterbacks that are available to see who to get. But if the Jaguars take Justin Fields, I'll be fine with it. Trevor Lawrence one. I think it's funny. Trevor Lawrence seems like a lock. He seems like he's just a lock to be the next Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, whatever quarterback you can think of. He seems to be that next guy, right? That's what worries me. I think he's a boom or bust prospect, man. I really do. I think he's a boom or bust. I think he's going to be really, really good, or he's going to be Blaine Gabbert or Blake Bortles or something along those lines. He's either going to be really good or he's going to be really bad. So I don't know, man. I don't know about Trevor Lawrence worries me, but he doesn't worry me as much as Kyle Trask. So all those Florida fans who want – and dude, Jaguar fans, please, people, I don't want to hear about Kyle Trask selling tickets. Stop it. Stop that. Winning sells tickets. I don't care about Florida quarterbacks because y'all swear up and down, if they would have brought Tebow here, they would have sold out the stadium. Maybe. Yeah, but once you would have seen how trash you would have been with that current Jacksonville team, not many people would have came. Nobody's coming to just watch Tebow stink up the place. So no. Don't draft anybody based off of selling tickets. Don't do that. Wins. You have to win. Get the wins and stack them up. That's what you have to do. Stop it, people. I don't heard too many people talking about that. Why is that really a thing? I hate that that's the thing. Draft somebody because it's going to sell tickets. No, we want to win. We want to win. Shoot, if that's the case, if you draft based off of popularity and who's going to put butts in the seats, a lot of guys wouldn't have been drafted. Patrick Mahomes doesn't get drafted because he's not going to put butts in the seat in Kansas City. But they're winning championships, and that's what you want, man. Kursan, appreciate it. But, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Now, I'm looking forward to tonight. I think tonight is a key matchup for Baltimore. Baltimore has to win this game. I think they're going to win the game. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. Lamar Jackson is back. The man, the Houdini with the football, is back in the building. So the Ravens should win tonight. And they have the easiest road to the playoffs right now. The easiest stretch of games coming up to end the season. So I see Baltimore probably sweeping their games, getting into the playoffs, and being a tough out once again, for certain. I wish some of my resident Steeler fans were in here. There's one in particular, Mr. Harrison Prime. The people here know who that is. Wish he would get on so we could hear. But he's pretty hurt today right now. But, they're 11-1, so they're not sweating it too much. But let's see. I talked about the Ravens tonight and Cowboys tonight, which I don't know, man. If the NFC East is so weird, because watching them Sunday, especially the Giants, I could not believe the Giants beat Seattle in Seattle. Russell Wilson MVP campaign he's too far behind Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. He's too far behind those three. Too far. No, I don't see him winning the MVP now, unless he gets hot and go 5 touchdowns a game down the stretch, something like that, and they go undefeated or something crazy like that. He put up some crazy numbers, but I just don't see it, man. I do not see it happening. And of course, Patrick Mahomes is on another level. One thing about the Chiefs is, I always say that they're so good, they're like a prisoner of how good they are, because a lot of times they play. It's like I don't know. I won't say they play around, but they feel like I said, they feel like they could turn it on whenever. And so a lot of times they'll play. Sometimes they either play down the competition, or what they'll do is they'll not have a killer instinct and put a team away. Like they did it last week against Tampa Bay. That game for Tampa Bay shouldn't have been close at all. That they should have won that game by 25 points, but they didn't, because they took their foot off the gas. And they do that from time to time. Now, but they are comfortable playing close games, though. And they are comfortable coming from behind. So it's very nitpicky for a team. I think it's the best team in the league. And even with Pittsburgh, when Pittsburgh was undefeated, I felt the Chiefs were the best team in the league. It's very nitpicky, but it is something to think about, So we will see down the stretch, because I don't see anybody beating the Chiefs, man. I think the Chiefs are going to repeat, especially if they stay healthy. But the bug could change everything, as we saw. The bug could change everything. Ohio State and Michigan just got canceled. So now I don't see how you put Ohio State in the playoff, because they don't play Michigan. They don't qualify for the Big Ten title game. So you're not able to win the Big Ten. So you can't put them in the college football playoff. So that for them will be essentially done. So I don't know how you're going to do that. I don't know how you're going to do that. Hold on, checking this out. Oh man, did you see Alex Smith leg get cleated? Blood gush out. That was disgusting. Oh my God, that was disgusting. I felt that one. But all right, see 24. All right. So gonna move. We're gonna switch topics. Gonna talk a little NBA before I get out of here. And first and foremost, the NBA is going to have to go back to the bubble. They're going to have to, because I don't know if you've seen it, but the NBA players are absolutely wilding out right now. James Harden is supposed to be in camp right now. Where is he? He's in Vegas strip clubs partying with no mask. They're going to have to go back to the bubble. That's happening. That's going to have to happen, because these guys are out here acting a fool. And it isn't just him. It's been plenty of players, man. I've seen them on their Instagrams, on Twitter, and all this stuff. They're going to have to go back to the bubble because guys aren't being responsible. James Harden isn't a 20-year-old rookie with a pocket full of millions. No, he's a grizzled veteran who's been had his money. So he knows better. But what? He doesn't care. And then the other aspect of that is that he wants out of Houston. So at this point, I mean, I understand you wanting out of Houston and you leaving them hanging and not showing up for camp, but you don't care about your health and well-being. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But James Harden right now he really has the Rockets over a barrel because they have to handle it delicately. Because if I'm the Rockets, if he legit no longer wants to be there, I'm getting him out of town. He's got to go, but he kind of has him over a barrel because of his contract. It is what it is, man. So, but man, it's hilarious. And his mom, James Harden's mom, defended him hanging out, man, without a mask and partying in Vegas. And then he was at a birthday party for the rapper Lil Baby, and they out partying once again in the strip club, no mask. No. You going back to the bubble, dog. I'm trying to tell you right now. You're going back to the bubble. That is happening. Now, on to one of my probably one of my favorite players of all time, which is a joke. Playoff P, aka Pandemic P, Mr. Paul George. He was on their podcast. I think it was All the Smoke. And if it was All the Smoke, that's a great podcast with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. And he talked about his struggles with the Clippers. And of course, what did he do? He blamed Doc Rivers. Now, he took little accountability, just about, so you can see, he took about that much accountability, and the rest was blamed on Doc. Because he said Doc tried to use him like he was Ray Allen or JJ Redick. Really? Really, Paul? That was your struggles. That was your primary struggle. That's why you struggled. That's why you went 4 for 16 in a pivotal playoff game. That's why. That's why. You're not, because he said he's not not a catch and shoot guy, and that's not his game and all this. Dude, come on. Come on, PG. So all this does is confirm what we've already heard. They say Montrezl Harrell had an issue with Playoff P. He had an issue with Paul George because he said Paul George is not accountable. There it is. He just said he's not accountable. He's not accountable for what he does. He's not accountable for his actions. And that's a problem. That is an issue. And now he says he wants to be a Clipper for life. And Damian Lillard, saw it, and he trolled him hard on Twitter. And he called him Al Capone. Come on, man. He's like, he's Benedict, man. Really? No, man. No. And then I absolutely love Doc Rivers for this. Doc Rivers responded, man. And Doc basically said, he was like, he said Ty Lue was sitting right next to me. So it's not much is going to change, dude. You're going to be doing the same thing. And he said everybody needs to take accountability. Doc took accountability for his part in it, for his mismanagement, for certain players not playing enough minutes, things like that. His defensive plan. He took responsibility for it all. He did. He didn't point any fingers at the players. He talked about himself. But then what did Paul George do? He did what a lot of superstar, diva, pampered baby athletes do. And all of them aren't like that, of course, but some are. They pointed the finger at other people and weren't accountable for their actions, man. And I told them when I heard, because I heard that they had a rumor that he wanted to go to Brooklyn to team up with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. And when I saw that, I was like, really? Really? You showed you couldn't be Robin with Kawhi Leonard. You couldn't be Robin to his Batman. But now you want to go to Brooklyn and you want to be Alfred? That's what you want to do, playoff P? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? But as you can see from, there's no love lost with Paul George. You have to be accountable, man. You have to be accountable. But moving on, this was another one which I thought was I don't know, it was kind of funny to me. Kyrie Irving. I don't know if you remember, but let's say about a couple months ago, he mentioned that, and it might have been a couple months ago. He mentioned that with Kevin Durant, playing with Kevin Durant, now he has somebody who he can trust to, like, who can take the last shot. That's what he said. He said that I finally have somebody who I can trust, to shoot that last shot and be clutch in clutch moments, basically saying that. That's what he said. And of course, we all knew that that's a shot at LeBron. It's a shot at LeBron. It is. Their relationship has been well documented over the years in Kyrie and LeBron's time in Cleveland. Kyrie didn't want him there. And, they coexisted because, they had to. He had no choice, and they won, and they got along for the time being. But they said Kyrie was very distant. He was cold, and because he didn't want LeBron there. He wanted it to be his team. And LeBron overshadowed that. I mean, and I understand it. I do. I understand it. But to take a jab at LeBron James by saying that now that you with Kevin Durant, you finally have somebody who could take that last shot. Man, I wish I had a buzzer or a note sound right here, because no, man, you can't do that. You can't do that. And LeBron, he was on I think Road Tripping Podcast, and he talked about how the comments stung, of course. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure LeBron has had whatever he had to say about Kyrie in private to certain people, about their relationship, but he's never said anything disparaging publicly. He's did nothing but praise him. Now, LeBron from time to time does say some passive aggressive things, though. He does. He'll tweet out certain things. He would say stuff to Kevin Love and say stuff about the team in Cleveland. It was very cryptic and it was very passive aggressive sometimes. And sometimes I was like, dude, you really didn't, you really don't have to do that. But that's his way of leading. It is what it is. But to publicly come out and say that you finally have somebody who's clutch and who can take shots because you got KD and you play with LeBron James, it's disrespect, man. It's absolute disrespect, and it's a slap in the face. It really is, man. But it is what it is. I love Uncle Drew, but Uncle Drew, man, come on, Uncle Drew. You cannot do that, man. You cannot do that. But hey, it's whatever. We're gonna move on. And hold on, give me just a second. All right, here we go. Oh, that's what just came through. So it says Harden is open to a trade to the Sixers and others. And James Harden went in Philadelphia. I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't think I would be mad at that. Only thing is that James Harden was given a lot in Houston. He was not without help in Houston. But James Harden game is a one-man game. It is. His style of play does not win championships. It doesn't. We've seen his style of game. Doesn't win championships. Now, guys like him who have that game, have they won championships? Yes. What did they have to do in order to win championships? They had to change their game up. Michael Jordan was essentially James Harden. But once he bought into the system, became more of a team player, he won titles. Same with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, well-known ball hog, well-home. The jokes of Kobe passing the ball are epic. From sitcoms to movies to different TV shows to different skits. Pass the ball, Kobe is dude. It's legendary. The memes of him, the Kobe's controller on 2K is all the pass button doesn't work. But what do? He changed his game and he won titles. Until James Harden changes his game, he's not going to win anything, man, because Houston had pieces, man. Houston had plenty of pieces to go on a title run. But once they get into the playoffs, what James Harden do? He shrank. He shrank in the playoffs, man. It is what it is, man. He shrinks in the playoffs. And now with John Wall there, I don't know, because I'm John Wall is kind of I won't say a less athletic Westbrook, but him and Westbrook are similar players, man. I mean, that's just me. They similar players to me, man. But the Rockets right now, what they want to do is they don't want to bend to the will of a player right now. So right now it's a game of chicken between James Harden and the Houston Rockets. That's why his behind ain't show up to training camp. He wanted to send a message. So right now it's a game of chicken between those two. Who's going to blink first? And I think the Rockets are going to blink first because James has a lot of leverage right now because he could just not show up. You know, it is what it is. So he holds a majority of the leverage. He kind of has him over a barrel right now. And if I'm Houston, I'm on the phone. I'm calling everybody like, hey, who wants him? What are you going to give me for him? Now, let's say they trade him to the Sixers. Who you going to get? If I'm the Sixers and James Harden is who you want, buy Simmons. See you later, Ben Simmons. I'm keeping Joel Embiid. Even though a little bit of scary prospect because both of them stay hurt. Let's just get that out the way. Both of them stay hurt. But if I'm going to continue with one of those two and I had to pick between the two, I'm going to pick Joel Embiid. Yeah. See, plus new coach wants to win early to show he was worth the hire. He's going to want Harden out sooner rather than later. Yeah, he is. He is. He's going to want him out sooner rather than later. Because number one, I've always been on the train of if a player doesn't want to be there, give him what he wants. Go ahead, get him out of town. I don't care that you don't want to look like you're bending to the will of a player. He doesn't want to be here. Let him go. That's like when Jalen Ramsey requested his trade and he wanted to be out of Jacksonville and they did all that waffling and that meeting and trying to see if they can get him to stay. His mind was made up. Let him go. It's over. You had your chance and you blew it. Let him go. So yeah, Jason. That new coach is definitely like, hey, I got John Wall. We got PJ Tucker. We got a few pieces. Hey, do what y'all gonna do so we can get this thing on the road. Because shoot, with John Wall and PJ Tucker, shoot, throw Ben Simmons into that mix. Go ahead, give me Ben Simmons, and you're looking at a decent team. I mean, they're not a title contender, but they're not gonna be in the lottery either, especially if they can stay healthy. John Wall stay broke too. But I don't know, man. We're gonna see. And AJ Bouye facing the ban for PEDs. Boys probably on some Adderall. Do they test for HGH? I don't think so. Might have been on that HGH, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, because he facing a 6-game suspension. Ooh-wee. Which Broncos ain't going nowhere. But Boye is my guy, man. He'll forever be living infamy for that 2017 defense, man. AJ Boye is that guy. But man, that is it for today. I appreciate y'all watching. Got a few. Probably gonna do a preview of the Jags versus Titans with Trajan Watkins. He's the beat writer for the Titans out in Tennessee, and me and him gonna do a show. We're gonna break down the Jaguars versus Titans coming up. Hopefully, I got another few interviews down the pipe and more videos coming your way. So I'm about to start really, really pouring into the videos. I'm gonna try to do a video every day. So just look on my feed and you're gonna see on the feed. If you got me on your feed, all you're gonna see is video after video after video after video. Because I'm pumping it out pour them all into this, man. I appreciate you guys. Hey, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It's free. It's free, people. Just like, share, subscribe. And one thing I can say, man, this is unrelated to sports, but think about friends, family, people that you know, and things that they're starting, things that they're passionate about. No matter what it is, whether it's a business, whether it's creating content like this, doesn't matter. Whatever they're getting into, in any way you can. One of the ways that you can help them is by sharing the content. It's simple. It's easy. It's free, man. Share the content, man. Share the content. Refer them to other people, man. Get them out there because it's easy and it's free. Doesn't take any time, man. So support your people, man. Always support your people. Any of my people, they got something out there, and I like, especially if I like the content, dude, I'm putting it out there. But even sometimes, I'm like, I ain't really too keen on them or whatever, but I see them starting something. They might not be my favorite person in the world, but I'll share the stuff because, I want them to do the same for me. If they see me, they're like, I don't like that Brandon dude. He sucks. You know how to talk sports, but I'm going to share this because I see he's on this path and this purpose. So do that, man, for sure. But until next time, I will talk to you guys later.